The war in Ukraine has reached a critical juncture. Russian President Vladimir Putin has issued orders to rout Ukrainian forces on the battlefield, claiming a decisive push. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has publicly dismissed reports of setbacks, insisting the situation remains under control.
You know, we all know very well that our troops have recently carried out a number of rapid, rather daring, effective operations, and are completing the rout of the enemy group of troops in the Kursk region. I will repeat in this regard, according to the laws of the Russian Federation.
Where's Russia and where's international law? They're like astronauts, completely detached. Our troops aren't in any encirclement. Our troops control the situation, not easily, but they're doing great. So we'll defend our state until we force the Russians to end this war.
But the voices of captured Ukrainian soldiers now in Russian hands tell a different story, one that raises serious questions about the leadership directing this conflict, both on the battlefield and in Kyiv. These testimonies, recorded from soldiers captured in recent months, point to a troubling pattern under Ukrainian troop leadership: forced conscription, inadequate preparation, and a reliance on coercion rather than strategy, a contrast to Ukraine's public claims of a battle-ready force. For many, the path to the front lines began not as volunteers eager to defend their nation, but as men pulled into service under duress, often with little say in the matter.
I received a draft notice at the bus station. At the same time, I also had a criminal case against me. A telegram arrived at our commandant's office stating that a certain percentage of people had to be transferred to another unit. And that's how I ended up in the 32nd unit.
This soldier's account suggests a recruitment system driven by quotas rather than readiness. Under pressure to meet numbers, local commanders swept up individuals, some with legal troubles, without regard for their combat experience or willingness to fight. Training, if provided at all, was often rushed or non-existent.
They told me, "You'll be a grenadier." I don't even know what that means. After that, nobody took us for training with the grenade launcher. As soon as we arrived, we were immediately sent into combat readiness.
While Kyiv insists on a strong defense against Russian advances, these testimonies paint a different picture. Soldiers describe being rushed to the front with minimal instruction, a stark contrast to Ukraine's official narrative of a well-trained military. Once deployed, troop commanders allegedly relied on threats rather than strategy to maintain order.
They told us, we either had to go to the front positions, or if we refused, we would be sent to the disciplinary battalion, where the matter would be handled in a completely different way.
Going back wasn't an option. Our own mercenaries would shoot us, so we decided to stay because we had no other choice.
Such coercion suggests a deeper crisis within Ukraine's ranks. Commanders, struggling to control unwilling troops, allegedly turned to punitive measures, including deploying mercenaries to enforce compliance. This raises serious concerns about Ukraine's chain of command and its ability to lead effectively under mounting pressure, especially as Russian forces intensify operations. As Putin's rout orders shift the battlefield dynamics, captured soldiers' testimonies expose logistical failures. Units were often abandoned, left without reinforcements, or cut off from support, contradicting Zelensky's assurances that Ukrainian forces are holding the line.
We arrived at the position, expecting to be replaced in Hurovka, but they never came. We thought they had already withdrawn. Then I heard gunfire. 200 of our guys were hit.
A drone flew in and dropped something on our entrance. It completely blocked our way out. We had no chance of escaping.
These incidents reveal critical lapses in battlefield coordination. The failure to organize timely reinforcements left troops isolated and vulnerable, raising questions about whether Ukraine's leadership is overwhelmed or simply indifferent to the realities on the ground. Perhaps most damning are allegations of corruption within the recruitment system. Some soldiers report that bribes allowed them to avoid frontline duty, exposing a deeply flawed system that Kyiv has yet to acknowledge or address.
I paid $5,000 and was allowed to stay and guard the factory. For 2 years, I guarded the factory. Eventually, the plant was hit, and I was sent to Sumy region.
I was caught once, 6 months ago, but I paid them $2,500. This time, I was detained in another district, and that was it.
While these payments offered temporary reprieve, they ultimately did not shield soldiers from being sent to the front. The persistence of such corruption undermines Kyiv's claims of a united and disciplined war effort, suggesting that Ukraine's resources and manpower may be severely mismanaged at a crucial moment. Faced with abandonment and impossible odds, many soldiers chose surrender over slaughter, a decision some say was encouraged by their own instructors, revealing a tacit admission of defeat within the ranks.
When I was in Honcharivsky, there was a psychologist. He conducted the same lesson 2 or 3 times. He said, "If you get captured, never trust anyone. Tell the whole truth. It doesn't matter who's involved, name everyone. Lying is pointless. Everything will be checked anyway. Stay calm, don't panic."
Our instructor told us, "Guys, if you get captured, it's better to surrender. Just say, 'I surrender.' Don't try to shoot." To my fellow soldiers, I say this. If you find yourself in a hopeless situation like this, don't even think. Surrender.
These surrenders, met with decent treatment by Russian forces, stand in contrast to the threats and neglect soldiers faced from their own side. They highlight a leadership accused of pushing troops into unwinnable fights while glossing over the chaos below. As Putin presses his advantage on the battlefield and Zelensky holds firm in his public stance, the gap between rhetoric and reality grows wider, leaving soldiers to bear the cost. The war grinds on, but these captured voices challenge Ukraine's leadership to answer for the allegations mounting against them. A military stretched thin, a command structure faltering, and a nation whose resolve is tested not just by the enemy, but by its own failures.